Welcome back to Book Yaps with Ash. I'm Ash, and today we are doing the end of the year book tag challenge question thing. Book Yaps with Ash. I wasn't officially tagged in this, but I saw some other YouTubers doing this and wanted to be a part of it because it looked fun and I liked the questions. So shout out to, what are they called? Books, Beverages, and Besties for the question ideas. I think they took the questions from someone else, but that is community, baby. So I've got 21 questions here that I only know because I watched their video, so I haven't really given them much thought of what I would say. So we're just gonna go through these fun questions of books I read this year. It is December 15th, so this is almost all of 2025. I'm really hoping to read a few more books this year, especially with being off after the 19th. But so yeah, this is most of the year, and that's cool because I've read like 60 something books, so I've got plenty of content to choose from. Let's get into it. Okay, first question, most disappointing book of the year. This really starts on a low note, huh? Wow. Okay. My most disappointing book of the year is definitely Endless Night by Agatha Christie. I really liked And Then There Were None. 10 years ago when I read it, I thought it was very suspenseful and just a great mystery book that really kept you turning the pages. And Endless Night sucked. Capital S sucked. And there's nothing more that I can say to that. It was just disappointing overall. So yeah, shout out, I guess, or whatever the opposite of a shout out is, to that book. On the flip side, next question, what was an underdog book? I'm going to say A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I would consider it an underdog book for two reasons. One, because A Psalm for the Wild-Built is her book as well, and obviously much more popular. You don't really see people talking about A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. And two, because it's almost kind of like the same feeling as House in the Cerulean Sea, only in space. And it is sci-fi, but it's very digestible. It's very accessible. There's lots of different characters from lots of different planets, but it really helps you to picture what they look like, how their worlds work, all that. So yeah, I think that's a book people don't know about and don't talk about enough. Next question. What was an overhyped book that you read? Dracula. I think it's just overhyped in the sense that it's a classic. I just don't think it was very good. I would not recommend it. If you want to read classics, then you have to read it because you want to read classics. But if you want to enjoy yourself and read a scary vampire story or a sexy vampire story, you're not going to get that out of Dracula. You're going to be bored. Really bored. So I'd say that's overhyped. Book that surprised you. Okay, the answer here, there's only one answer that is correct, and it's obviously Dungeon Crawler Carl. And that's because Beth lent me this book, and I was like, sure, I'm gonna read it. I had heard about it, I thought it sounded cool, but I'm not really a series person. And I think it's because I hadn't really found a series that I wanted to keep going with. And that interested me enough to not read other books. And this one really did that. I was super invested in it immediately and wanted to keep going after finishing the first one, and that surprised me. I didn't think I would be obsessed with the series. I thought that I would like the book and be like, yeah, that was great, but I love it. I love everything about it. So that one. Your favorite book couples of the year. There, again, only one right answer, and it's Shane and Ilya. Obviously, it's Shane and Ilya. Yeah, genuinely, I'm looking at all the other books. I will give a honorary mention to, they're not really a couple, but the two guys in The Survivor Wants to Die at the end, I loved them. I loved their dynamic so much. I wanted to protect those boys at all costs. And I will also give an honorary shout out to Joan and Vanessa in Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, because this was just a really good representation of like what I can imagine it was like being queer working at NASA in the 70s. And their relationship was just really quite beautiful. Really great. Oh my God. Just reliving the panic attack I had at the end of that book. Okay, your favorite main characters of the year. My mind goes to Demon Copperhead for sure. Just a great narrative voice. Yeah, just as like a first person POV. I don't know if you can beat that, because he was just a great narrator to listen to on audio for one, but also just he had so much personality that really flew off the page that felt very real. So that's like the obvious answer. But I also I read Misery this year, so I have to say Annie Wilkes. Like, she's nuts. If you think she's nuts in the very toned down movie from whatever year, she's even more nuts in the book, and it's great. Yeah. So those two. New favorite author you discovered this year. Oh, that's really easy. Emily St. John Mandel. I read 3 of her books this year, starting with Station 11, and then I read Sea of Tranquility and The Glass Hotel, and that is the order in which I'd rank them. I really liked Station 11. I feel like it was like the depth of The Stand while being like a quarter of the size, at least. I just loved that book. Sea of Tranquility kind of followed the same structure, just wasn't as good. Like, it was good, it just wasn't as good. And The Glass Hotel, I was like, meh. Didn't really care about it that much and kind of forgot what happens in that book. But I do really like her writing, and I would continue to read her books, but I don't know if you can beat Station 11 personally. Author that didn't work out for you this year. I don't know if there really is one. Okay. I feel like I can't say this out loud. Not the author, but the series. And the series is The Dark Tower, and the author of the series is Stephen King. I do like Stephen King. I still like Stephen King, and I trust him. However, I have been reading Wolves of the Kala since July. And that book is like a 500+ page side quest. And I don't want to finish it, but I also have like 3 hours left of the audiobook. That's like 30 hours or something. So I feel like I should just do it. And I do want to continue with the series, but like, I don't care about the Kala. What is the happiest book you read this year? I'm going to say Cleat Cute by Meryl Wilsner. Yeah, this one was decently happy. This is about 2 girls who end up on the same professional soccer team and then start banging each other. And it had a really good ADHD representation, really good autism representation, I thought. The audiobooks for shit, actually. It makes both characters sound ditzy. Well, one sound ditzy and the other one sound super uninterested. So don't do the audiobook, because you might DNF. I almost did. I switched, and then I really liked the book because I didn't make them horrible characters with tone usage. But yeah, this one was pretty happy. It's like a summary book, like soccer. It's in New Orleans. Yeah, I'd say that one. But secondly, I would also say The Impossible Life by Matt Haig. It was really whimsical. Narrated the audiobook by like an old British woman, so that was cool. Really cozy, and it takes place in Ibiza, and there's magic involved and wonder. And there was some more sad parts of it. It's a Matt Haig book, so it's always going to be like pretty introspective, but yeah, I liked that one. Okay, an easy question. Well, maybe not, because I read so many, but what was the saddest book you read this year? I feel like probably Demon Copperhead, because it just gets more sad the more you read it. Like, there's no true relief. The most frustrating book you read this year. Oh, good. There is a question where I can talk about the bee sting. It's the bee sting. I don't get it. it's so long. I don't have it in my hands, but it's so long. It's like this big, okay? You don't know how big my hand is, but it's long. And there were parts of it that were really good and really interesting, and I thought all the characters had really interesting stories. And I thought the choice to make Imelda, the mom, not have any punctuation used at all was very experimental. But oh my god, when her chapters are like 100 pages long and you're reading that without a break, there's not a break. No, it did it for me. Like, it was like pulling teeth finishing this book, and then the ending was really ambiguous. Spoiler, sorry, whatever. I just didn't. I didn't like it. I didn't like it, and it made me mad. It made me mad, which sucks because there was parts about it that I did really like, and like I said, the characters were very real, but it was just painful. I don't even like when we don't use quotations anymore. Like why are we moving away from quotations? Like, why do I have to work harder than I'm already working, you know? I didn't like that. The best book adaptation of the year. Okay, the show's not even fully out yet, but I have to say Heated Rivalry because it is so loyal to the book, and that came out this year. However, I also say, and this did not come out this year, you'll be surprised to find out, The Green Mile by Stephen King. So I actually read this book and then watched the movie for the first time. I'd never seen the movie, and it is a very loyal adaptation as well, like almost like line by line for certain scenes. And I thought the movie was really good. I thought it like brought the story to life in such a good way and is such a good companion to the book. Yeah, I think it was a really good book to film adaptation. I usually think they're pretty shit, so I don't even often watch movies after I've read books, but I'm glad I watched that one because it was really quite good. So those two. Favorite covers of the year. I've said it once, I've said it again. Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle is like one of my favorite book covers of all time. I don't really know if there's anything that tops that. Yeah, I just think it's a sick cover. Yeah. I'm not even gonna pair it with anybody. But I will say my least favorite cover of the year is the Wicked cover, because we're doing a disservice to everybody involved by putting the movie on the book, because people are gonna buy it for their 11-year-olds. People are gonna buy it thinking it's the exact same as the movie and the musical, and it is not. And people are gonna buy it expecting whimsical and gay or whatever. It's not. Okay? It's like a fantasy political book, and it is good, but it should not be consumed from that lens. I know that wasn't a question, but I added it. A book you haven't stopped thinking about. Definitely The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That's one of the first books I read this year, and I just loved it. I loved Evelyn Hugo so much, and it's a tragic story, but it's a great love story. It's a great story about friendship. That one, and also All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. Really sad story. It was a good audiobook. World War II, historical fiction. Really, I just found it beautifully told. And I think about listening to that one quite a bit. An unpopular book you loved. I don't actually know what's popular and what's not. I'm just on one side of the internet. But I'm going to go with Sandwich by Catherine Newman, because I had never heard of this book or Catherine Newman before joining a book club, and then that book club getting her to do an author talk, and I thought, oh, cool, I should read that book because she's going to come talk about it. And the experience of all that is really unmatched, but the book itself was really quite good. Like, it's a story where nothing happens. They just go to a cottage for a week as a family, but it just is about the family dynamics of our main point of view is like smack dab sandwiched in the middle of her adult children and her aging parents, and like navigating all of that. And I thought it was just really well written. It was very honest about what it means to be like a woman in her 60s, and I just thought Catherine Newman was lovely. Like, as a person, to get to listen to her talk, you really can see where her characters come from. And so yeah, I love that one, and I think more people should read it. It's a book where like nothing happens, but it really is still quite good. A book you thought you'd love but didn't. Martyr, because I DNF'd it. Or another DNF was The Dinosaur Artist. Okay, here's the thing. The Dinosaur Artist was my own fault. I thought it was going to be about dinosaurs, but it was about buying dinosaur bones and like business. So to me, that's not exciting. So I just went into it with the wrong expectations, and that's my own fault. Oh, actually another one. The Last House Guest by Megan Miranda. I've heard good things about her as a thriller writer, and I thought her, like, that book was meh. I didn't care at all about what happened or anything. So that one, actually, I had been wanting to read that for a long time, and I read it, and I said, why did I care? But I did finish it. I just didn't like it. Might try another one of her books because I have it, but yeah, just super didn't care about that book at all. Ooh, fun. Okay. Book with the most unique concept you read this year. I read a lot of unique concepts, actually. But what's the most unique concept? Because, well, you've got The Life of Chuck, which the storytelling style was very unique. It was told almost like backwards in a way. And like you got so much out of that story with it being so short. So that one for sure. Bury Your Gaze was the best audiobook I'd ever read. And that storytelling style was like insane. Like Dungeon Crawler Carl obviously is very unique. And I don't want to keep talking about it. But like what is more unique than an alien species crushing everything and then creating these dungeons that you compete in and you're in a real live video game? What's more unique than that? Nothing. I'll also mention The September House. That one's pretty unique because it picks up essentially where a horror story traditionally about a haunted house would leave off, which I thought was kind of cool. Normally a typical horror story is like person moves into house is haunted, person tries to kill demon or leaves house, the end. But this was just person moves into house is haunted, person learns to live with it and is stubborn, and that's where it starts, with her just accepting her house is haunted. So I thought that was cool. A book you read this year that you would reread? A lot of them, to be honest. Definitely Sunrise on the Reaping is the first one that comes to mind. I'm gonna read it next year again because the movie is coming out and I want to remember as much as I can. So definitely that one. A Psalm for the Wild Built is a good one. It's short, and I think it's one if you need a reminder that like you don't need a purpose. You just gotta chill. You just gotta chill sometimes. So that one. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo for sure. I also reread every other Hunger Game book except the Hunger Games. So I would reread all of those again. Heated Rivalry. And I'd probably read Bunny again. Like, knowing what I know now, it'd be good to read that one again. To just kind of undo everything I know. And question it all again. Goodreads 2025 reading goal reflection. And a reading goal for 2026. My reading goal for 2025 was 25 books. Because I had 25 books that I've had for a while that I've wanted to read. I didn't read all of them. Whoops. I also don't like making number reading goals anymore because it means I won't read a big book. It means I won't read a challenging book. It means that I won't read a book that I feel like I might not like, but started anyways. It means I won't DNF a book. So I beat my goal, but my goal was just read book that you have at home. That was a big goal. I did a lot of that. But yeah, other than that, I don't, kind of like going away from the goals kind of thing. Because I like to read. So I'm just trying to like be less hard on myself about what I do read and just read what I like. So that's my goal for 2026, I guess. 1, continue reading books I have at home. Chill with the buying them, which I've gotten a lot better at. 2, be a mood reader. You know, just read what you want to read. So that's that. A book you wish you got to this year. So as I just mentioned, I had a list of 25 books that I've had at home on my shelf for a while that I had hoped to read this year. Probably one that I would have said if I filmed this last week is The Kite Runner. I've had this one for a while, but I'm currently reading it. Holy crap, it's sad. the kind of main plot point of this book is really dark. It's like the worst thing that can happen to a person. So check your trigger warnings if you're going to read that one, because it's dark. But so I would say that one, but I think I'm going to finish it. I'm either going to finish it or not. So I gave it the good college try either way. But other than that, there's a book called This Weightless World that I've had for a couple years that I've really wanted to read and didn't get to this year, probably won't. One called Come Join Our Disease, which sounds really interesting. It's not a super popular book, but it has a really cool concept of like, a homeless person is given like a home, but they have to document everything on Instagram. So it's like a analysis into that, I guess. And there's another one on here I didn't get to. Oh, Our Share of Night. I'm just intimidated by the size of it. I've thought about reading it every month and been like, that one's probably too big for this month. But it's really, like, people say it's really good. So maybe next year. And the last question is, what will you prioritize in your 2026 reading year? So being okay being a mood reader, being okay DNFing books I don't like, continuing to branch out and have range. I love reading like gay, hockey, border, like line porn, smut, you know what I'm talking about? At the same time as like a literary masterpiece that is like Demon Copperhead. I love range. So I want to keep going with that. Yeah, and then just, like I said, continuing to read books I have at home. Also reading books for book clubs, too. Books that I wouldn't necessarily choose at all or so soon. But taking the opportunity to be part of a group. Anything else I'm prioritizing next year? Reading more in the sense of just being on my phone less. But I feel like that's every year. And it doesn't always work. But that's always a goal. So yeah, this was my 2025 reading wrap tag thing. Thanks for watching, and also thanks for watching any of my book YouTube videos this year. I started making them on YouTube in January, and so it's been really fun to do. I'm glad that I moved over to YouTube from Instagram. I feel like I get to make more fun content. I've started making vlogs for reading books, which is really fun. I do want to do more of that. I think that is a fun way to record reading a book. So yeah, if you're here, thanks. And if you're not here, okay. Well, I think I'm gonna go make dinner, and I'm gonna start listening to Say Nothing, I think. Yeah, now is the time. It's gonna be dark. Let's do it. All right. This has been Book Yaps with Ash.